Do you have any interesting symptoms that show up, like if you eat the berries or something, or you eat gluten? Are you able? It's been about 3 months. Are you able to correlate?
One of the hardest things for me is to not have bread, and so when I seem to eat a lot of anything with a lot of yeast or wheat, I become very lethargic, and that really kills my energy flow real fast.
Got it. And then are you able to work out now? The cardiovascular workout?
I'm still maintaining my workout, yeah.
And so are you still getting tired by doing the cardiovascular workouts?
No, I have the energy to do it, and I want to do it. I'm ready to go. I tend to have more energy in the morning, too. I wake up feeling more alert, where my mornings used to take forever to get going. I would have to go and get coffee and drink my coffee.
Yeah.
Kind of slug around the house for a half hour trying to get stuff done. And now it's more like, it's just kind of, you wake up and you're turned on and you're going. And I usually first thing I do is go down and just drink a bunch of water.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I had noticed is that I had seen a dietitian first before I had my test, and they were wanting me to, keep exercising and walk the dog more and exercise more. And exercising at that time, for me, it would just take the energy out of me. And if I went and walked the dog for 20 minutes, just in regular temperature, sun temperature, I'd come back and I'd have to lay down and just sit and veg and recover for about an hour before I could go work at my computer. And, and that is, the dietitian didn't catch that, but that is not normal.
Right, right. That's exactly how it would be for me. I would try, and I would be so tired, and I would actually, then I would, because you want to get into a routine, and you go, okay, I'm going to do this at least 3 days a week, or I'm going to try and do it every day, and I would start doing it, and I would force myself to do it, and then I would just feel this exhaustion come on so great that I knew, if I keep going, I'm just going to get sick.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be completely shut down and be in bed, and,
Right, and that's a perfect example of, how I see, what I've learned and how I've experienced for myself, how your immune system works. Your immune system, because you were eating all these foods that were, suppressing your immune system, and then you go work out, which requires your immune system to be healthy. And then you go work out and you're suppressing your immune system even more by working out. You're pushing your body to the edge, and it makes you more tired. It's like when exercising, for people who are listening, and if exercising just makes you extremely tired and you need to go sleep or sit down for it, that is a sign that your immune system is maxed out and your body's trying to tell you slow down. So anyway, I get off my soapbox for now.
The other thing that I found too is, like I said, when I do go off schedule a little bit, because I started this in the beginning of December and was heading right into all the holiday parties and New Year's, and it was like, oh boy, I'm going to miss out on, my wife makes this fudge once a year that I love, and I'm not going to get any, and I held pretty good. But at times when I do get down, I notice that when I'm really exhausted, I want to eat bad foods. And the more bad food I eat, and when I say bad food, I mean like junk food, like really bad, getting McDonald's or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the more I eat that food, the more I want that food, and the worse I feel. And the worse I feel, the more I want the bad food. And I know the bad food is making me feel bad, but it's also making me want it more for some reason. It's really, really kind of odd. And I know when I'm really feeling bad, it's like, okay, hey, just let's get back on here. Look, you know why you're feeling bad. You went and ate cheeseburgers yesterday and pizza for dinner that night. So just get back into what you're supposed to be doing, and then it comes back, and then you feel good.
Yeah, and that's
for me anyway.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you and have you share your story is, there are people like Joe who can just, okay, I'm not eating berries or gluten, for 3 months, which is the recommended way to do it so that your sensitivities can heal. There are people who have really strong willpower like that, but I would say that most of us, including me, don't have that kind of willpower to do that. Because a lot of us, I mean, you combine willpower, of course, with, being busy and things to do and what's available for you to, run in and get real quick for your lunch and for a snack. But it's very hard to stay on. And so one of the things I'm hearing from your story is, even though that you fall off the wagon, so to speak, and you indulge in the foods that are on the list that you shouldn't have, you are feeling the effects and you get back on the wagon. So it's like you know how to self-correct and you know how to feel better, as with before when you were medicating yourself, you were more like a victim of the pollens and the season.
Yeah, and I also I would have to guess. I mean, I was playing around with it. I wasn't sure. I kind of knew breads were a problem, but I didn't know exactly why, or should I be going and eating, gluten-free, or what I should do. Now at least I know what's on the list, and I've come up with I have meals that I make that I know are good for me to have.
And is that, I know that you were worried about that at the beginning. Oh my God, I can't eat anything. So are you, which was my first thought too. Oh my God, I can't eat anything. What am I going to eat? But
what was kind of nice about actually looking at what I could eat was I actually got to start eating some things that I had stayed away from because prior to all of this, my diet, I would try to stay fairly low carb. And that's why I said, I eat a lot of chicken. So there were things like, hey, I can have a baked potato. I was like, okay. Well, I normally wouldn't sit down and eat a baked potato. Usually when we would have steaks, I get a fillet, we would make something else to go along with it, steamed vegetables or something. And I would never get to have a baked potato with my steak like I used to. And now I look at that and I go, okay, I can have the potato, I just can't have the sour cream and the butter on it. But I've gotten to where I actually like the potatoes better. I cut up some red bell pepper, and then I put some onion in there, and then I cook some green peas, and I put it all in the potato with a little salt and pepper, and there you go.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like it actually tastes better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Well, we've only got a couple more minutes. Was there anything that you wanted to share that you haven't shared already?
I don't think so, other than I encourage this to everybody now, just to know what it is half the battle, I think. And it was so easy to find out. They just do the little test, and then you could get the prints back, and it's like, great. It's kind of a little blueprint for your personal body that you now get to know what is harming you. So I recommend it to everybody.
Yeah, it's like the cheat sheet. You don't have to try to figure it out anymore, which, and if foods are affecting you 2 days later, how are you going to figure that out, Yeah. And so about how much did your test cost? What kind of test did you get? Did you get the ALCAT, ELISA, MRT?
Oh, boy, that's a good question.
Okay.
All I know is I did the 200 panel test.
Okay. Well, I can tell everybody he did the ELISA test.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, ELISA. Okay, I can see it now.
Which is
I just pulled the test to look at it here. The ELISA, yes.
And so what you did is you get the you got the kit for $10 at foodallergy.com.
Yeah.
You took that kit into a clinic that had already had a history of honoring those kits and running those, drawing your blood and sending it off for you, and then you picked up your test results. And so, I've calculated the total amount that in that routine that someone had to spend, which is like the cheapest way to get the test. It's not always the most convenient because not every clinic or doctor will honor a test that you buy off the internet. But I think it costs about $150. Does that sound right? Total.
Yeah. Well, I think it was.
Oh no, yours was like $250.
It was two. I decided to go in. I don't like having blood drawn anyway, so I thought if I'm going to go ahead and do this, I'm going to go for the bigger panel so that I can see everything. and just do it in one shot, because I figured, if I do the first one and just do 100, there's going to be some things that I'm going to miss. And I thought, I want to know everything.
Yeah. Okay, so you did the 200 food panel,
Yeah.
and so that was an extra 100. So, okay, so your cost was about $250, which is, that is really affordable considering what you've gotten out of it, and,
Oh, yeah.
I can't thank you enough, Mathew, for sharing your story with us. And I want to remind everybody again that you can find out more about Mathew at guitarmonks.com, guitarmonks.com, where he sells basic guitar products or lessons that are instant downloads, ebooks, and videos. And then you also have Mathew Dixon, which is spelled MathewDixon.com, which I have to say, Mathew, I think you've got one of the best Christmas CDs out there with your, what's it called? The music only, instrumental.
Instrumental Christmas, yeah.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's awesome. So thank you again. I appreciate it. And everybody, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
This conversation is brought to you by foodpowers.com. Thank you for listening.